To be potential means to be one's own lack. To be in relation to one's own incapacity. To be potential means to be one's own lack. To be in relation to one's own incapacity. That's Giorgio Agamben, an Italian philosopher, and that quote was brought to my attention by the magnanimous soul brother and cosmic fiend, Christopher Honeycutt. Cheers to you, my brother. Right now I'm sending you mixed messages, I understand. There's perhaps some ambivalence in your assessment of me at this very moment as I struggle to drink my coffee with two hands on the coffee cup. What is the mixed message that I'm sending you? Well, superficially at least, I'm drinking and not drinking the coffee at the same time. But let's go even deeper than that. I'm a woman and a man at the same time. 'Cause you and I both know we've never seen a man hold this cup like this. Men don't hold coffee cups like this. Men hold coffee cups like this. And now I'm a man. Have my sunglasses, have my one hand on the coffee cup. Still somewhat of a mixed message, because it's pink, but I'm a man who likes pink. But now I go back to being a woman. And so much potential here. I'm a man and a woman at the same time. I have a masculine core and a feminine shell. And now I drink the coffee. Biscotti. I'm opening the Biscotti. Biscottis kind of suck unless you dip them in coffee. I'm going to dip this in coffee and eat it. Now, obviously women can wear sunglasses too. Just because I'm wearing sunglasses doesn't automatically mean I'm a male. But when I hold a coffee cup like this, you know I'm a woman. I can feel the transformation taking place in me as well when I drink coffee this way. I feel the potential to be a woman, even though I'm very much in love with being a man. I like having a cock. Nothing against vaginas. Don't go in that direction. Here we go again. The phallo-logocentrism of dipping a biscotti in a sumptuous liquid. You know, if I can do something this silly and insane, you can really do anything today, can't you? I mean the silly, insane things that you feel tempted to do. Headphones. $9.99. Reduced from $19.99. Took a lot of hard work to get these headphones. It took a lot of employment of masculine core, chocolate under the fingernails, best place, masculine core and feminine relational skills. I know that bugs the shit out of some of you for me even saying that. So I was at this bookstore, Second and Charles, and I went up to this tower in the large kind of warehouse space, and this tower had different headphones on it and other musical devices. And I'm always breaking my headphones. I listen to music a lot. And I'm like, okay, I'll get one in advance. I have some credit here at Second and Charles. And it'll be like essentially buying a fine pair of headphones for $2, even though it says $10 and it's marked down from $20. I'm a cheapo, right? I'm frugal. I'm thrifty. Why? Because I don't like to work. Why? Because I don't like to be a slave. So this is the economics of emancipation, essentially. I've worked a lot in my life. I've been a slave for quite some time. There was a guy in front of the headphones. So if you can imagine the headphones behind me like this, but I'm the guy. I'm not me. A guy was standing in between me and the tower of musical paraphernalia, headphones and all other sorts of little devices that people that love music tend to use if they're sophisticated. I'm not sophisticated. He's standing in front of it. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I need to get the headphones that are behind you. And he's standing there with his hands behind his back like this, looking at me dead in the eye, like a soldier, like a Nazi. Like maybe one of those royal guards at the British Palace in London, I can't remember the name of it, with the big fluffy hats who never move. He didn't really move except for his mouth, and he said, I am the guardian of the headphones. The guardian of the headphones. That's what he said to me. Of course, at this moment, since I'm a little crazy myself, I just step back and I'm like, why are you the guardian of the headphones? And he's like, these headphones are on factory recall. You cannot purchase them without significant risk to your own economic well-being. Oh. Okay. Well, do you mind if I just take the risk and buy them myself and maybe just return them if they're defective? Yes, I mind. I have your best interests at heart, even if you do not know what your best interests are. Do you understand? No, I don't understand. Would you like to take a walk with me inside my mind? No, I'm good. I'm fine. I just want to go around you, maybe, and get the headphones from the other side of the music tower. And if you just excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead. So I try to walk around him, and he's one of those guards, one of those sentries, one of those sentinels who just continues everywhere I go. He goes, and he's always blocking my access to the musical tower. And then finally, as we're dancing around it and we're swirling and swirling like atoms in a super collider in CERN, Switzerland, he puts out his hand And he says, "Stop." And at that moment, my eyes light up and my head unfolds. There's a bridge between his mind and my mind. He's trying to protect me from myself. And I'm telling him, deep in the recesses of his own mind, that he can go fuck himself for trying to protect me. Because his form of protection is really a judgment upon me. Now you may think that I'm being hyperbolic and exaggerating my claims because I simply want to buy a pair of headphones. I can always just keep the receipt and return it within 14 days, as long as I don't breach the package and take out the headphones. But for this man, every microscopic incident of reality is automatically an inductive opportunity to talk about universality. And so he will not let me abrogate my responsibility to my own well-being. He is dead set opposed to me wasting $10, which is really just $2 because I'm getting it with store credit. He won't let that happen, and before you know it, it's like this. Oh, shit, man. Shit. Dude, you just punched me. Do you really care for me if you're punching me? Of course I care for you. That is why I am abusing you. Because I care for you. Why else would I abuse you? You should not buy these headphones. If you buy these headphones, you will go home, you will open the package, you will put them on, and you will find out that they do not work. And then you will have to drive all the way back to this store and try to return them, and you will not be able to return them because you opened the box. And I am here to protect you from yourself. Man, you just punched me. I'm just trying to buy a fucking pair of headphones. And again, we have that mind-to-mind transmission that occurs through the eyes. And we're both sucked into the vortex of one another's inner being, one's vast interiority, where there's nothing but chaos and placidity in equal measure. How can you say to me that you're trying to protect me and you abuse me? How can you say that? Do you understand that you do not know what is best for you? Do you understand that I read somewhere in a book what is best for you? And because I read this in a book, and because I was 100% convinced of the truth claim of this book, I know what is right for you. I know what is right for you in all aspects of your life. Not just these headphones, but everywhere, at all times. These headphones are one example of the universality of my knowing, the infinitude of my omniscience. I came here because I knew what you were about to do, but I will be everywhere, wherever you decide to make a decision that affects your life. And of course, since we are both inside of one another's minds, I naturally ask him the most obvious question. If you're going to be everywhere, intersecting me at every moment with respect to every decision I make about the welfare of my being in this present moment and the future, You will always be there at every moment, and for everything. There is no moment where you and your big, fluffy, puffy Russian English century hat with your big musket and bayonet aren't going to be there. You will always be there. To which he replied, in the illimitable expanse of my mind and his mind, it is correct. Because I have read somewhere in my book, my sacred book, that I must be present for every decision and every choice that you make, so that it may conform with this book. Yeah, man, but dude, that's a book. And if I know what book you're talking about, which I think I do know what book you're talking about, that book's like 2,000 years old. It has nothing to do with today. It has nothing to do with anything other than just it's storytelling for slaves. To which he replied, that's not the book. It's not a religious book. It's not a spiritual book. It's just a book. And it's any book that I want. Every book that I come across. I take a line from that book. I put it in my mind. And it becomes the through line, the tagline, the subject heading for every moment where you and I interface and intersect and intercourse. You will always be guided by me, by the one line from the one book that I find and implement in eternity. You shall never be free of the sentence that I choose. And I'm only here right now as the very first opportunity, the very first loophole, the very first gateway, the very first portal. You must obey. You must obey. You cannot have the headphones. You must go home. And when you open your computer and you check your Facebook account, there, on your very Facebook wall, you'll find the next sentence, the next command, the very next instruction that will tell you how to behave in your very next moment. You may not have the headphones. You may not have anything. You must obey.